This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
I say, isn't that a fine how do you do?
Man, if that movie was 20 minutes shorter, it'd been so good.
Oh my God, it's so great, man. It was on the other day. I watched it. I laughed.
Watch Beer Fest last night, man. Beer Fest is good.
Beer Fest is good. Hot take. I think Beer Fest is better than Super Troopers.
Ooh, that is interesting. I don't hate that take.
It's not a terrible take.
Yeah.
Super Troopers was just the first one.
Club Dread doesn't get enough due. It's not as good as those two, but Club Dread's really good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it is pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Man, could you imagine if there was a podcast that had a very specific criteria for what they reviewed that could help us ascertain?
And I was just trying to ascertain whether or not muck was involved.
We're trying to ascertain?
Yes.
Okay. Ascertain.
Which of those movies got a fair shake?
Anytime I see the name Penelope, I think Penelope. Every single time. Penelope Cruz.
Penis slope.
Shortest cold open we've ever done. Welcome to Cinephobe. God damn it. Leave all this in.
Leave it all in. Yeah, I bet you do.
Just like the penis slope.
Isn't it? Isn't it? It's possible. I don't understand what this podcast is about.
Poppycock.
It's a fuck house.
On a weekly basis, we are consuming more concentrated bad movies than probably anybody in the history of mankind.
Poppycock.
What story? What story? What are you talking about?
Do you want lunch?
I have yet to laugh in this movie. I'll just tell you that.
You picked it, motherfucker. So just remember that.
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
So I was legitimately offended.
You were offended?
I was offended.
I didn't know you could get offended.
I was offended.
This did it.
If I were gay, I wouldn't be offended.
They're fucking making shit up, Amin.
Inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail.
Bees don't lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm holding a mic in my hands, and now I'm talking all alone.
Welcome to Cinephobe, the podcast. We break down the movies you're afraid to admit you love. I'm Zach Harper. That's Amin Al-Hassan. That's Anthony Mayes. Patreon.com/count the dings, fellas. Count those dings.
You know what's been in my head recently for I have absolutely no reason why is the one time that you went, bitch, it's on the Patreon.
What?
I said that? Yes.
What episode was that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
What?
See? All that time you mocked me for pointing out Cinephobe episodes.
Zach just goes, bitch, it's on the Patreon.
Well, bitch, it is on the Patreon.
Oh, I thought he said bitches on the Patreon. I said, since when?
Oh, bitch is on the Patreon. No, bitch, it's on the Patreon. Amin was about to go join the Discord.
Yeah, I want to say, take my $8 a month, please.
You do get access to our Discord, where you can chat with myself and Maze in the Cinephobe channel. Not Amin.
No word yet on the bitches there.
No. When the bitches come, that's when Amin will be there. You also get access to all kinds of extra stuff, not just on Cinephobe, but throughout the entire Count the Dings network. If you have a review, review it. Patreon.com/Count the Dings will get you a chance to review it in the Discord, which then you put in the Apple Podcast, which then you rate 5 stars on Spotify. That's right. You give your reviews of the movies. You give your reviews of the podcast. You do it all. You get active in the community and you spread the word. And by spreading that word, we get more reviews and we don't end this fucking podcast early. Okay? If you have a submission, submit it. Just needs to be 40% or lower on Rotten Tomatoes for the audience or the critic score. Happy Black History Month, everybody.
It's about time.
Hey, look at that.
That is about time. We've been waiting. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, what slowed us down from doing that?
I wonder what.
You guys not knowing what to pick. May's not knowing what to pick. Not Amin. I wouldn't blame Amin for the tardiness of this month, you know?
You know what, Mayes? I stand by the way we handled it.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
But Wiser, you created a monster, and they called him Rickenstein.
After a thrilling and honest Stallone month extended, we're now digging into some February classics. I got the first pick because I haven't picked a movie in a while. And I decided to go with the 1992 comedy. Classic, work that body.
Comedy. That's it. That's all.
Same description too, bro.
When was the last time that happened?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Class Act stars Christopher Reed and Christopher Martin, otherwise known as Kid and Play. They're both in House Party 1, House Party 2, and House Party 3. Reed was on some episodes of Sister Sister and in the movie Pauly Shore's Dead. Martin was on 6 episodes of Church Folks. We also get Karen Parsons, Meshack Taylor, and Loretta Devine. You know Karen from being Hillary on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She's also in Major Payne, The Ladies' Man, and something called Death Spa.
I feel bad for her because I just called her Hillary the whole time.
Meshack, you know from playing Anthony Bouvier on Designing Women, who was also in the Mannequin movie franchise, and the movie, I'm going to pronounce this as carefully as I can, Wigger. W, the hard W.
I was going to ask if you're going to do an Anthony Mayes. Nigger!
Whoa, not during Black History Month. What are you doing? Loretta was in Waiting to Exhale, Hoodlum, Urban Legend, What Women Want, The PJs, Crash, Dreamgirls, Beverly Hills Chihuahua, and Doc McStuffins.
Huge resume.
She's got a lot of range. Boston Public also, I think she was on that.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Perlman, Dougie Doug, and Rick Ducommun.
That's not how you pronounce that.
How do you pronounce it?
Duck coming.
Duck coming?
That's a duck. That's a duck coming, man.
Rhea, you know from Cheers, Sunset Park, Matilda, Carpool, 10 Items or Less, and Star Wars The Bad Batch. Doug, you know from Mo Better Blues, Cool Runnings,
Sanka, you dead? Yeah, man.
Cosby, and Eight-Legged Freaks.
Also, Operation Dumbo Drop and That Darn Cat.
That darn cat.
Is that the Woz movie?
It's the Woz movie. It's what Woz's new IG handle is.
Seriously, what is the angle here? What, are we ever going to know?
I love the idea that none of us believe this is a genuine desire.
None of us. There's not a single person that believes this is true. That he was just like, I think I should get a cat.
He doesn't want companionship or anything.
No. It's very confusing. Rick Duckommun is a repeat offender from Loaded Weapon 1 and Last Action Hero.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
So he is the other guy that walked across the downtown LA bridge between the 2 sets of those movies.
He's in Die Hard, The Burbs, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, Last Boy Scout, Encino Man, MVP Most Valuable Primate, and like Mike, MVP Most Valuable Primate, Future Cinephobe.
Okay, so is it like Animal Month where we do...
I think so. Karate Dog.
MVP Most Valuable Primate. We could do The Animal with Rob Schneider.
Yep.
So just to give people some backstory, when we were doing Cinephobe for Mad Dog Sports on Sirius XM Radio, MVP was rapidly coming up on the queue, and then sports came back. So we get very close to doing MVP. So I'm really excited to do that one day.
Repeat offender, Andre Rosie Brown from Tango and Cash and Money Talks.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
So 2 3-timers that we did not pick up on the first time around.
Also Throw Mama from the Train, Blood Fist 3, Forced to Fight,
Oh,
Forget Paris, Barbed Wire, Kingpin, Space Jam, and that one episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Blood Fist 3, Forced to Fight.
I kind of want to see all the Blood Fists now, if I'm being honest. Forced to fight
against his will?
What happened in the first 2 Blood Fists?
In the first 2, he was like, let's do it.
Like, all right, yeah, I'm down.
This time, I'm done. I don't want to anymore. Well, you gotta. Sorry, it's Blood Fist 3.
Reginald Ballard, whomst you might recognize as Brother Man from the Fifth Floor on Martin.
Could you say that a little wider for me, please? I don't think it was wide enough.
Brother Man from the Fifth Floor.
Brother Man from the Fifth Floor.
That's the whole joke, I mean.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Welcome to Cinephobe.
He's also in Menace to Society and Horrible Bosses.
Menace to Society.
Ivory Ocean, who's a repeat offender from Leprechaun 5 in the Hood.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
He's the Reverend from that movie.
That allegedly Coolio's in the same scene. Thomas Michael Ford from Harlem Nights and Martin. Lance Crowther from Pootie Tang and CB4.
Not from Pootie Tang. He is Pootie Tang, yeah.
Repeat offender Greg Collins from Armageddon, Daredevil, and Gone in 60 Seconds.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Sean McMurray from Raising Arizona, The Wizard, Baby Geniuses, and Addams Family Values.
And Freaks and Geeks.
Pauly Shore from Biodome, Jury Duty, Son-in-Law, Encino Man, and In the Army Now.
His time will come.
It was directed by Randall Miller. He directed the pilot episode of Salute Your Shorts, House Guest, Sixth Man, and Jack and Jill, the TV show.
This was his first movie. 5
writing credits for this movie. Michael Swerdlick, who did the Aloha episode of Saved by the Bell, multiple episodes of Doogie Howser MD, and 2 episodes of Beverly Hills 90210.
Wrote the movie Can't Buy Me Love, which was then remade as Love Don't Cost a Thing.
In the olden days, you could find you a wench who Swerdlick for a couple of pence.
Medieval humor.
Wayne Allen Rice wrote Suicide Kings and produced Dude, Where's My Car? Richard Brenn, who wrote 1 episode of Arliss and this movie. That's it. And then John Semper and Cynthia Friedlob, who wrote Spider-Man, the animated series, and a bunch of animated stuff.
She wrote My Little Pony and Rugrats. So it's a really weird goulash of writers here.
How do these people come together?
I don't know. I don't really get it.
Synopsis for Class Act. A valedictorian and a juvenile delinquent have their school records switched and begin to be treated like the other.
I love the Amazon synopsis because this is verbatim what it says. Duncan is a genius straight-A student. Blade is juvenile delinquent. But because of mix-up with their school records, everyone thinks each is the other one.
Blade wrote that synopsis.
Tagline, a hair-raising comedy.
Because they have signature hairstyles.
He's got tall hair.
That's raising, yeah.
$80 million. Nope. I didn't do the budget on this one.
Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
$7.5 million budget.
It did 13.2 US and worldwide.
$80 million.
I skipped over that.
Was
today.
Adam Sandler in this movie and we just forgot? Like Coolio?
Before we jump into this movie and before you listen to the rest of this podcast, Class Act is a rental. I bought it.
$2, $5 to buy.
Put it down. Not a big deal. I'm doing well.
I'm doing well.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This is Zach's way of saying I would have voted Obama a third time if I could.
Class Act received 17% from the critics on 12 reviews, 72% from the audience on over 5,000 ratings.
This one was going to absolutely be a big gap between people and the critics.
I mean, would you like the positive or the negative reviews?
Glass half full kind of guy, Zach. Give me the positives.
Wow, everybody's just thinking about the negative. Well, I think the glass is half full. Everybody thinks it's half empty.
Ryan Cracknell of Movie Reviews. While not a horrible film, it certainly isn't the type of feature that would make anyone an icon or even a star.
I don't really think of it as a crack nail. It's more of a coke nail.
Scott Weinberg of eFilmCritic.com.
Use the voice.
Nope. Kid and Play made 2 half-decent movies. This is one of them.
It's Black History Month. It's okay.
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Mays supercharged this. It was also just Remembrance Month, you dipshit.
Whoa!
Or day, or whatever.
Whoa!
I don't know.
Whoa! Sir, I'm going to prescribe that you watch this one more time.
Supercharge that too.
Next playback?
You know what? User Derek S, 5 out of 5 stars. Hilarious, great story, and a perfect cast. Not much more you could ask for. Quote, hey, yo, Demita, I thought you were going to play with my frog.
Now, is that the original quote or when Dougie Doug mocks him and does it over?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't say. User Joey O, 4 out of 5 stars.
Oh. Showed her the O face.
It's a just for fun movie and should be taken as such.
Yeah.
I don't need you to rationalize this for me.
Blank user, 3.5 out of 5 stars. The actors portrayed their characters well.
What?
Thank you.
User Chris H, 5 out of 5 stars. 23 years old, and I still love this movie.
Chris H, is it Krish then?
User Greg W, 3 out of 5 stars.
Greg Wody.
Kid and Play, bring the funny.
Get it? Because it's bring the funk.
Oh.
User Sean V, 5 out of 5 stars. It keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
Relax, Sean.
User Kenny L, 5 out of 5 stars.
I don't know, Kenny?
This is a classic Kid and Play movie.
It is.
Yeah, there's 4. It's like,
yeah.
I feel like they're all pretty similar.
User who just had an ellipsis for a name, 3 out of 5 stars.
Get on the ellipsis.
Funny and corny when Kid and Play were considered cool. LOL.
I won't lie, the musical number.
Oh, at the dance or the rally or whatever?
Yeah, at the anti-drug rally.
User Fallon H, 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, Himmy Fallon.
Fallon Himmy.
Hey, Pender Hughes, if you don't get over here right now and give me a kiss, I'm going to kick yo ass.
Weird line to choose for your review.
User Melanie C, 4 out of 5 stars.
That was the non-black one, right? Mel B was the black one. Mel C was the Caucasian one.
C for Caucasian. Love it. Miss the old style of clothes and music. Cool movie.
This might rival Last Action Hero for most 20th century bitch movie ever.
User Jennifer T, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now this is the Kid and Play movie that I like. Forget House Party.
What?
Watch this feature instead with rap duo Kid and Play. It will have you laughing your ass off. Good job, guys. A-.
Relax, Jennifer Tilly.
User Will W, 3.5 out of 5. Yep, I watched this movie.
Fuck you, bro.
Why? Was it part of a class project?
Get fucked.
You had to leave a review?
If you have a submission, submit it.
But if you don't have to.
User Melissa P, 5 out of 5. Wow. Blast from the past. The 90s be the dopest, G. Heart. Awesome movie. Smiley face.
They do be the dopest.
Dopest spelled capital D, lowercase o, capital P, or capital P.
Capital P, baby.
Lowercase es, capital T.
Capital P for prosperity.
That's why you be fucking up handshakes, because you be trying to be going dapital.
A dapital handshake is where you really emphasize it.
Is that when you go over the top?
You go over the top as you dap, but you wrap your hand around the thumb. Alexander F, 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was made in the 80s, but I guess not. Hilarious classic comedy.
Oh, fuck you, you young piece of shit.
User Jonathan P, 3 out of 5 stars. After school special with more edge.
Pretty much. After school special with an F-bomb dropped within the first 5 minutes. I know you get one for every PG-13 movie, but they couldn't believe it. Like, let's get this one out the way real quick, boys.
Shamika J, 5 out of 5 stars.
I'm sure she's going to be real critical.
I can't find this movie nowhere.
What? Hold on. What was that voice?
What? It was excited.
No,
she has an exclamation point. I can't find this movie nowhere.
I like to think Zach, to get into character, he went to a movie theater and just started talking to the screen. Now I'm ready to do Shamika J's voice.
I can't find that movie nowhere. Where's my baby daddy?
Not what I said.
Stop being a pessimist. This tank is not half full. It's half empty.
Kevin Carr of 7M Pictures. This movie was really nothing but fluff for the decade, featuring hip-hop stars of the day. Ya boy, Brian Orndorff of BrianOrndorff.com. A film that strains to be entertaining until it's red in the face, but doesn't contain a single laugh.
I just picture Brian Orndorff not taking a single breath during this movie because he doesn't want to laugh.
Does Brian Orndorff actually like any movies? This motherfucker, man.
There it is.
Great. It's gonna be a good radio show tonight.
I was thirsty.
I mean, it's useless. We're 4 hours in and he's already drunk. He's got to do something at 1 a.m. He's going to be drunk. Cinephobe is going to be at 1 a.m. and he's not going to be able to do it. Like, wait, are you kidding me? He's hammered.
Caffeinated Clint of Movie Hole. Mildly funny, not a shade on House Party.
Okay.
Roger Ebert of Chicago Sun-Times. Class Act takes a fairly radical idea and turns it into a sitcom, although not without giving us some idea of the possibilities it has missed.
How is this a radical idea?
That sounds kind of like the after school special one. I don't think they're seeing the point at all. They took it as like a cautionary tale or something.
User Jake M, 1 out of 5 stars.
Jacob.
Worst movie ever next to Crocodile Dundee 2.
Whoa.
Boy, I gotta tell you need to see some more movies, man. We got a whole list.
Maybe I just knew I had to represent. Because they had one good part in for a black man, they gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Pump your brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure.
User Kevin R, 2 out of 5 stars. Reading is fundamental. Duncan is a child prodigy, and Blade is a slick cat with a criminal presence and record.
Oh my God.
Their identities are mixed up when they transferred to the same high school, but they both find elements of their new life and surroundings that works for them. They try to play out this strange scenario when a local bullying drug dealer threatens to blow up the entire act. Quote, you can't find your hearing aid? Get a cup. Put a cup to the phone. End quote. The storyline for this picture is below average and doesn't make much sense or feel very realistic. The lines were cheesy and the acting was even more cheesy. Quote, in Shakespeare, to die meant having an orgasm. End quote. I came across this on HBO Go and decided to watch it again for the first time in a long time. I'd always remembered this being more fun than good, and I still view it that way. This isn't a waste of time, as the story is a bit fun and the Wax Museum ending is awesome. But the overall film is below average. I would recommend seeing this once. Quote, you ever wonder about our son's sexual preference? End quote. Grade C-.
Who the fuck are you? You're just a user. No one cares about your grades.
Rambling C-.
The quotes that he put in didn't make any sense.
The quotes too. Yeah, the quotes.
User Paul B, 1 out of 5 stars.
Paul B, 1 out of 5 stars.
Reuses dozens of overtired sitcom antics and situations. Class Act isn't necessarily horrible, but it's derivative beyond forgiveness.
I'll accept that.
Not beyond forgiveness. It's derivative, but that's fine.
User Nunya B, 0.5 star out of 5.
Nunya, business, 3 out of 5.
Poor at best. This is pure stupidity in motion. Putting a couple of dummies is not funny. They cannot act, sing, or perform. This just plain sucked. User Eric H, 1 out of 5 stars.
Eric.
What else can I say? This is the crappiest movie I've ever viewed. It sucks so much, I don't even know if I would consider it a movie.
No.
It is like a bad high school play that was taped. I think it's better to watch paint dry than this film.
What about a hospital talent show that's taped?
You guys know what they say about Eric H, right?
No.
You haven't heard?
No, Cobra Formula.
No. He rich.
User Shark M, 1.5 out of 5 stars.
Shark 'em.
I will shark them with my review.
What I liked? It's pretty funny. Good characters. What I didn't? Cheesy movie. Would I recommend it? Class Act is outdated. I enjoyed it when I was younger, but now can't say I do, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, good. You grew up. Good for you.
User Tiffany F, 2 out of 5 stars.
So a lot more negative reviews, despite it being a 77% with the audience.
As years go by, this movie gets whacker and whacker, if that is a word. Poor job done. User Pinky P, 0.5 star out of 5.
Pinky P.
Can you believe people actually went to see this? Thank God I didn't. And the people I know who did, I refuse to acknowledge anymore.
My cracknell is usually on my Pinky P.
Well done, Maze. A golf clap for that one. That was a good one.
God, you got all that White Claw in your throat right now. What the
what
happened to your voice?
Yeah, your voice sounded well coded. Let's put it that way.
That's the thing.
Sounded like Buffalo Bill.
It's the mic. It's the mic.
No, it was the White Claw coating your throat.
No, it's Maze fucking with my audio after editing. God damn it, Maze.
What Maze and I do is we set up times before we go to record, and it's just like, hey, this long into the podcast, make a comment about how bad his audio is. I'll make something happen. Last one, user Ryan D, 0.5 star out of 5.
Like a Ryan D cowboy. Bum, bum, bum.
These two should have killed themselves after House Party. They'd have been legends.
God.
Wow.
What?
I mean, you can't argue with that logic.
They would have been legends.
They would have been.
It's an aggressive take, but I can't say it's wrong.
That's the hardest I've ever heard Maze laugh.
It's extremely offensive, but also he's praising them. House Party was so great. If you guys had killed yourselves after that, then it would have been better for your record.
There were also 2 reviews I didn't include, but I gotta read the names. The username is free with 3s instead of E's. Free my dad and rest of the fam, it's Devontae.
That's the name of the user?
And then the review was 5 stars. That movie goes stupid, kid funny as ever.
Wait, hold on. Now you've just included the review then. Like he's like, oh, these 2 reviews I didn't include. And now you're including it.
Well, then this other one, which I kind of feel like is the same person because it's the same day, both 5 stars. Kasha Monique is the queen, so bow down.
That's the username?
Yeah. Do you want the review?
Yes, please.
This movie is so funny, I can watch it over and over again throughout the night. And for the people who think this movie is a bad influence, is wrong. I'm young and I watch it.
How is that her answer, though? For the people who think this is sending the wrong message, I'm watching it.
Listener, what's up? Zach Harper, coming to you live from Just Making My Picks on Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. For my money and your money, the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. Again, that's daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of players, including like pros and sharks, those people that really try to game the system and screw you over. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Basketball's here, right? So check this out. This is the cool thing that I love from Prize Picks. You can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports and leagues. So if you want to do like more Patrick Mahomes yards and less James Harden points, you can do that. You can do that combination. You can do any combination that they have on there. You just go to the Specials League. You want to play alongside people. Maybe you don't want to go it alone. Maybe you want to play alongside people. You can go to, I don't know, Meek Mill, Andrew Schultz. You find them in the community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. And best of all, Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have the player who exits the game in the first half and does not return the second, that player is rebooted. Prize Picks, the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So I'll tell you what you do. You go to prizepicks.com/ding and use the promo code DING, D-I-N-G, for a first deposit match up to $100. Let me say that again for you. You go to prizepicks.com/ding. You use the code DING, D-I-N-G, for a first deposit match up to $100 from our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Amin.
Yes.
What is your first note?
Soundtrack exposition.
Song is a banger. Clip it, Mayes.
They sang it immediately.
And they sang it 8 million more times.
I can't get enough of this song. I love this song.
Every time that song dropped, I knew shenanigans and hijinks would ensue.
In living color, opening credit font. So when I was a kid and this movie came out and House Party came out, and I watched them, I think probably around the same time as when I got to both of them. I really didn't know these guys for their music. I don't think to this day I could tell you one song.
I don't think anyone knows them for the music.
But I knew that they were famous because of music. I don't know if that was a thing for you, Amin. I don't know if that was a thing for you, Mayes, at any point. You're probably too young for that.
Yeah, Mayes was way too young.
But I do not remember their music.
This is one of the movies I saw in Sudan. That should tell you a lot, right? Like that this movie was even available.
Internationally known.
We knew the Kid and Play Dance.
Mm-hmm.
I had classmates that knew the songs, but the songs were all from the movies.
Okay.
I don't know anyone who knows their music for the sake of their music.
It's all together.
Kid, Chris Reed, he's done a lot of writing and producing. Among them, he created the theme for Real Time with Bill Maher.
Really?
He's friends with Michelle Beadle. Met him at karaoke one night.
Of course. Was he just waiting for people to do Kid and Play songs?
No, you know what, man? He kept asking me about basketball.
I hate that.
I was like, my song's coming up.
You big timed him?
Not really, but I was like, I didn't want to talk about sports at that moment. You're friends with Michelle Beadle. Go talk to her about it.
It's been a while, Mayes. Clip the 3 weeks earlier from Rick and Morty.
Yes.
I'm not a huge fan personally of the whole 3 weeks earlier teaser thing. I feel like, we should start our stories where they begin, not start them where they get interested.
We've got Kid, a.k.a. Christopher Reed, a.k.a. Duncan, behind prison bars, trying to explain his story to the guard.
Everything about this screams 90s. The music, the vocals, the patterns, the unnecessary long credits. 20th century, bitch.
It's the guy from the Fresh Prince episode with Carlton and Will stuck in the apartment.
This is just a dream.
I love that, man.
Who the hell are you?
This is just a dream. We're not really here.
It might surprise you to find out that both Zach and Amin were horribly wrong on this reference. Andre Rosie Brown does not play Mad Dog in the not iBarbecue episode of Fresh Prince. That is actually Jamie Cardriche. Andre Rosie Brown shows up later in season 6 in There's the Rub Part 2 when he plays Tiny.
The scene in Suicide Squad, the first one, where the witch is doing the stuff and building that thing, that's exactly what I think of, just Carlton doing those arm motions.
And he keeps doing it after Will is like, this isn't working.
Yeah, Will hits him. Yeah. Kid says he's a genius and he's been framed. Guard says, I'm Pee Wee Herman.
Reference! Oh, it's back.
He was on his way to college, get a degree in biochemistry or applied mathematical engineering science.
No, he wasn't. He was on his way to exposition his ass off.
Double 800s 4.0. Came from a good, wholesome, intellectually stimulating environment.
Blade's from the hood.
Wow.
Their lives have been completely opposite. We'll start from the beginning.
Flashback exposition montage.
And we're gonna need a montage.
Duncan and Blade growing up very differently. Duncan potty training in the toilet. Blade pissing in the street.
Well, I was concerned with the finer points of etiquette. Blade was playing Yellow Streams by I.P. Freely.
Duncan reading Advanced Physics Level 3. Blade reading Playpens.
Soaking up the wealth of knowledge the world had to offer. Blade was becoming a smut king.
Duncan playing Risk and has a Trivial Pursuit box out there, so he's playing with dice, whereas Blade is shooting craps.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan with a telescope, looking to the sky.
Yeah.
Blade looking through a keyhole to look at a girl.
Wait a second. He's looking through a keyhole? Wouldn't that be like his sister? Whose house is he in?
Is that someone he knows?
He's a smut king. I mean, how dare you doubt the young smut king?
He is a smut king. That's actually fair. And then Duncan getting an academic trophy and his picture taken. Blade getting a mugshot taken.
On the road to the Academic Hall of Fame, Blade was well on his way to Alcatraz, which is funny because Alcatraz hasn't been a functioning prison in my entire life.
Back then, people didn't know famous prisons. Attica, Alcatraz.
Rikers, maybe?
Rikers, yeah. And that's it.
White guy hovers around Duncan in the holding cell. Duncan says, can you excuse us? Couple of good candidates for a shanking over there.
Blade was vacationing with the brothers at his favorite summer resort, aka prison. So within the first 5 minutes of this movie, we've got both of them in prison.
Is this movie racist?
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, wait a second, what's happening here?
It's not racist.
They're playing on racist themes and tropes.
Yes.
To point out how racist we are.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
They're making us feel racist, not them feel racist.
They're just holding a mirror up to us, I mean. Society as a whole.
Senior year, they moved to a new neighborhood. Blade is in juvie talking to his PO.
Juvie Dick Reichert. Still trying to take a bite out of crime? And by the way, when am I going to blow this joint? When you decide to be a good boy, Michael.
Blade yells about unjust treatment and racial injustice, and the PO interrupts him, saying Farrakhan's not coming down to bust out petty car thieves.
Call the NAACP down here. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Minister Farrakhan. Let's have a party.
Judge is letting him out, but not so fast. Judge letting out pending certain conditions. First, you have to go to school and you got to get good grades.
Zach has kindly stepped over the incredibly problematic, if it was up to me, you'd stay here till this guy looked good. Cut to a man dressed as a woman. Blade does a double take. The man dressed as a woman blows Blade a kiss. And he says, don't look at me like that.
I'm problematic. He's a problem.
I wrote it out and I was like, I don't want to mention this. And then I
don't want to bring it up.
Deleted it.
20th century, bitch.
Yeah, that is a real 20 CV thing right there. He says, me and school's like oil and vinegar. They just don't mix.
That's oil and water. Whatever.
He turns 18 in the senior year.
But he's not wrong. Oil and vinegar don't mix either. So suck it, juvie dick.
If he doesn't abide by these demands, he's going to adult prison.
That means you're not going to be a minor anymore. So if you don't get good grades, or if I catch you fighting, or if I catch you even hanging out with the brothers, if I catch you so much as wiping your ass sideways, pal, that's going to be a violation of your probation. And I'm going to bust you as an adult.
Do come and ass off.
Duck, come on.
Duck coming.
Judge has arranged for a special parting gift before he leaves. They cut off his hair.
I like how they did this, though. It's a quick cut to him just screaming as they cut his hair off because it's so important to them.
Not just screaming. Wait, so important to them.
Comes up later with Kid as well.
Who's them?
Them, right? Coded language, I mean. I don't know if you noticed that.
Kid and Play.
It's February, guys. It's my fault. I haven't been as diligent with keeping you guys in check. It is Black History Month.
Agreed.
You guys would have watched the way you fucking talk. Both of you.
I agree, I mean. Couldn't agree more.
What about you two? Why didn't you walk out and protest with your brothers? Walk out on me. What are you doing sitting there? You look like Whitey. You look like a couple of goddamn Uncle Toms. Walk on out. That's right. Get up and move. You should lynch me. Lynch me. Lynch me for what my people have done to your people.
Also, shout out to this PG-13 movie for making the most out of its fuck you in the first 5 minutes.
Cut to Duncan in a college entrance interview. The guys are from Hafford, not Harvard.
Is that half Harvard, half Stanford?
Go Raging Beavers. No, because Stanford is mentioned later.
When I wrote it out, I said Hafford. And I was like, no, it's Harvard.
We have exposition of a perfect SAT score, 4.0 GPA, and guess what? Those are insufficient.
Yeah.
He needs to pass a PE course to satisfy his high school graduation. No graduation. No Harvard.
They moved into a pass-fail school so we wouldn't have to fake asthma anymore. Duncan was never very athletic, and he knocks over a glass.
Because that's what unathletic people do, by the way.
Yeah.
He's riding his bike to school. There's a mad rush into the high school after the gates are unlocked. Did someone just grab the principal's ass? That's when I thought the woman was the principal.
Bonus booty, baby!
Herman! Damn kids get on my damn nerves.
That is a wagon, sir.
That is a wagon. And I said, you know what? I know I'm never going to say in this episode of Cinephobe, I know for a fact I will never say zero cheeks. Black History Month is back, baby.
It sure is, Amin. Blade and a group are walking one way in the hallway. Duncan and people are walking the other way. Principal channels her inner Maze by looking at files and saying, jailbait.
Easy, Maze.
She's just wiggling her ass while she's going through the files.
And rubbing the files on her titties.
I think Sam Presti at one point is behind Duncan. Blade shoves the guy for bumping into him, and another. Then Blade and Duncan bump into each other, and Blade throws Duncan into the principal's office. He barrels into the woman's chest, and the files go flying in the air. Duncan's pick lands on Blade's file. Blade's pick lands on, you guessed it, Duncan's file. Shenanigans.
He gets shoved, and it's very Joe Gatto. It's a close-up of him as he bursts into the principal's office, and then he goes into her titties like it was a pie being held by Howard the Duck.
Same note too, bro.
And there it was, the one mistake that would change the rest of my life, and that's when the guard interrupts.
How big you say them titties were?
Oh, they were. Wait a minute. Let's get back to the story.
I like that.
And I figured out, no, the white guy's the principal. This was just his administrative assistant. Principal is impressed by Blade's record. Quite an SAT score. Yeah, I got my name right. A crime. What a crime. Which one? It's a crime you can't get higher than a 4.0. You need a greater challenge than that. Someone like you gets bored in a place like this. Got that right. I've got something a little extra for you. How would you like to show off what you can do on a TV show? On what? America's Most Wanted? Very funny.
Yeah.
Local TV show competition called the Knowledge Bowl.
Did you notice that Principal Exposition is wearing the same outfit as his portrait on the wall?
No, I didn't notice that. He's got a big portrait of himself next to Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly, but he's wearing the same goddamn outfit. Same tie, same color suit, everything.
Wants Blade to lead their team against an opposing school, beat the crap out of them, murder them, put their heads to bed, rip their arms out of their sockets. Blade's been looking for a school like this his whole life. As Blade is walking out of the office, Principal says,
just lean on me, bro.
I laughed.
I laughed too.
Now he's talking to Duncan, thinking he's Blade. Call this an SAT score? Told me it was the first of its kind. They weren't kidding. If you don't get at least a 3.0, you're in deep doo-doo. Shooting for a 4.0, sir.
The principal starts picking out bats from a bat rack he has in his office.
Yeah, that's odd.
He looks at him and he's like, I'm going to need a bigger bat. He puts that one back and picks up a big black one. Because you know those be the biggest bats. Black History Month, bitch.
I know you think you're 1 in a million. Statistically, I'm 1 in 3.75 million.
Well, I don't give a hootenanny what you think you are, bub. You're not going to intimidate me, Jack.
Threatens to call the cops. Duncan leaves. Blade goes to advanced student section. It's far nicer. There's no graffiti. There's nice music playing, relaxing.
Hallelujah. I laugh.
There's trophies and sculpted busts all over the place. We never see this hallway again.
Duncan heads to an annex. Rhea Perlman welcomes Blade to advanced Latin. Honored to have him as her student.
And Rhea Perlman is acting her ass off.
Of course. She's never acted her ass on.
She was amazing. You guys notice how the desks are? Very modern and sleek.
Everything's nicer. There's the lovely purple paint job. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the juxtaposition of where the honor students are, where the remedial students are, how everything looks different. Even the lighting, everything is nice and soft over here versus the harshness of the remedial students.
He thinks that she's messing with him. Yeah, right. Where's Reichert? You know Reichert? He's a brilliant poet.
And Play says, yes. He's just got like a very quiet, really?
She's going to attempt to be his teacher. Karen Parsons is there, and she's amazing. Rhea pulls a kid out of the seat for Blade to sit down.
Duncan walks into the music class from Sister Act 2.
He does.
Old teacher's rambling about transitive and intransitive verbs, and Dougie Doug is sizing up Duncan immediately.
Dougie Doug is acting his ass off.
Comes up, says, I know you're not sitting in my favorite seat. Duncan gets up and goes to a new seat.
Yo, home perm. I know you're not sitting in my second favorite seat now. But I thought you said that. Shut up. Yo, give me some ducats, some loot, some cash, some dough, some cabbage, some green.
You want me to pay you to sit here? Are you crazy?
Of course I'm crazy. That's what I'm doing here. Yo, see, you got me all wrong, Sponge Cake Head. I want you to pay me for the privilege for you not to sit there on the floor. No, just save it, man. Save the money and buy yourself some new kicks, because them my 3 Sun joints you got is whack.
Dougie Doug, ass off.
Locking up the ass off.
Rhea's flirting with Blade. Latin is the father of all romance languages.
Amor, omnia, vincit. Love conquers all.
Dougie Doug's name is Popsicle.
It's going to be harassing him all semester. Cheerio. Starts laughing, making ridiculous faces. Why do they call you Popsicle?
Wedge says, because I'm cool, but I'm sloppy. I don't agree.
What's a wedge? That's a wedge.
Wait a second. You're not going to just gloss over the fact he said his name is Popsicle because Wedge says he's cool, but he's sloppy. Am I the only one detecting tension here?
You sure are.
No, come on. Popsicle.
I actually thought it was kind of a clever explanation of the nickname.
Yeah.
Popsicles get sucked.
I mean, it's not like his last name is Doug Cumming, you know?
Doug Cumming, yeah. I don't know. Popsicle, because I'm cool, but I'm sloppy.
Like a dick, we get it.
Sloppy.
Like giving a blowjob, we get it.
Like a crazy blowjob, like the kind, like the pepper grinder.
Well, you just said it yourself, Amin. A popsicle gets sucked. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. Because if he's the sloppy one, then he'd be sucking Wedge's dick, which is what you're implying with your tension. But popsicles are the ones that get sucked.
Wedge is wearing a crop top.
Where my money at?
Wedge is acting his ass off. Wedge looks like John Wallace. Wedge is also dressed like a genie.
Wedge is dressed like Kazam.
Exactly.
Some guy pulls out a gun, fires into the air. Everybody dives to the ground. Duncan falls into Demita's chest.
Head first into titties again. And the kid with the gun also has a propeller hat.
He does.
Unironically, it should be pointed out.
Wedge takes the gun, grabs the kid, and throws him out of the annex like Jazz gets thrown out of the Banks mansion.
Then he starts yelling at Duncan. The hell are you doing with my female, man? Female?
Tell me why it shouldn't cause a 6-car pileup on your head.
Because you're really a nice guy and we should be friends.
Popsicle is going through Duncan's file, sees all of Blade's offenses. Tell him about the last guy who gave you a hard time.
Put a guy in intensive care, multiple contusions, fractions, severe internal injuries, major conclusion. That's a lot of pain.
Your days of bruising are over.
I want to introduce to you my man. 2 teeth, 1 leg longer than the other. Hurricane Hugo hip having. All my children watching. None of my children have it. Twisted tube, Todd Torres from Texas. Abortion prevention. This girl got extensions. Yabba dabba do his breast smell like doo-doo. My man, a.k.a. Michael Charles, a.k.a.
the Guru of Doo-Doo, the Count of Monte Fisto.
Blade Brown. I dare you to hit him.
Same note too.
Same note too, bro.
Popsicle introduces Blade Brown like he's the Count of Monte Fisto.
Check this out, Blade. Stay out of my way, you dig? I dug.
Wedge has everybody get off the ground.
And Wedge kind of has Zion's haircut.
Now, reading is fundamental. Now let's get on with this school thing. You teach.
Oh, yes. Reading is fundamental.
Blade gets 20 minutes of free time with his class, and Rhea gives him a note. Mia sits down next to Duncan. She's intrigued, inches closer to him. As she's talking to him, Wedge is in the row behind, and he's inching closer to them.
I heard about you and Sherelle from LaWanda, who told Devon, who told Cecilia, who told me that you got it going on. And then in the second time around, she adds in Aletha told me that you know how to do things that she never dreamed about doing. Is that true?
He says he can do some things, couple things.
I ain't never quite met a guy like you before. Me neither.
I found the image of Dougie Doug and Wedge inching forward a little bit. The whole conversation, I laughed pretty hard, man.
Oh, it's hilarious, yeah.
Very well done. Juxtaposed with a very unfunny conversation between Demita and Chris, or whatever his name is.
Why wasn't it funny? Because it was a woman talking?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Karen Parsons as Ellen Grove introduces herself to Blade.
I read your argument for lipopolysaccharide-induced modulation of human monocyte urokinase production and activity in the High School National Science Review. Say what, girl?
Jargon from Hillary Banks.
Principal over the intercom. Anti-drug rally coming up.
Oh, no. That was the principal over the exposition, PA position.
Starts to say he's not Duncan, then realizes how he's there. And Blade says, maybe I am. Duncan picks up his Blade Brown file. Demeter passes him her number. Wedge takes it.
Told you to stay out of my shit. Now she is my shit.
Tell him, Wedge.
You and me, parking lot, after school. Popsicle mocks Wedge. Blade is looking for fake Blade. He hears someone call Duncan Blade in the hallway. Duncan sees the principal, starts to tell him about a terrible mistake, and then Blade throws him into the wood shop.
Kid is acting his ass off in the wood shop.
There's a power sander. There's another power sander. Rubs a hole in his ass cheeks.
I'm not having a great day. First somebody wants to beat me up for being you. Then you want to beat me up for not being you. Then you want me to be you. What do you want from me?
Blade tells him to ace all of his classes for this semester and he'll let him live.
No, don't be me. You be you for me.
Blade puts him under a power drill press. Duncan says Wedge wants to beat him up. How can he act through a fight like that? Leave it up to Blade. Keep up this act or he'll be driving with a handicap parking sticker. Be in the parking lot after school.
Class is over. Dismissed.
You guys ever have to fight after school?
Yeah.
Like the whole 3 o'clock playground? Isn't it funny that people were so punctual back then?
It was so weird. Yeah, because there was a thing in high school where there was this park that people would fight at that wasn't all that convenient to get to. It was like a good 15 minutes away from the school. And the school was massive. We could have just gone to a corner and fought there.
But the acoustics were incredible. Worth the trip.
We could have fought anywhere. They're like, go to the park. Stupid.
But they made it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, everyone was there on time. Nobody was late.
It always made it on time. That was like everybody made it and everybody made it on time. I never understood why. Now, I never had to do the after school fight. Usually my fights were impromptu, right on the spot. But I was absolutely the carnival barker for the after school fight.
Oh, I'm sure you were. Whether you knew the people or not.
Just, hey man, we gonna do this or what?
And from geometry, the Cannibal Vista, the Prince of Pain, the King of Sting, it's Johnny.
Duncan's in class waiting. It turns to 3 o'clock. Get a launch sequence countdown. Everybody follows him to the parking lot. Wedge, then in the hallway, gets knocked out by Blade.
Calmly knocks him out with one punch.
Stuffed into a custodian closet.
Popsicle's taking bets outside.
And then Blade walks out to the parking lot. It's me, Duncan Pincushion. I just peeped that punk Wedge running home to mommy. My man Blade's here, as legit as they say.
I mean legitimate. I gotta go bust out some homework.
Popsicle says to pay the man, gives him the cut, 80-20. Wants to hang with him, roll.
The Stugats is strong in Popsicle. 80-20 split my way.
Demeter stops Duncan for his number. Blade's PO is looking for him. Blade calls Duncan over to him.
See you later, Titty. Demeter. Golden dumpster.
Ask Blade if he can go home now. Blade's been thinking. Needs him to take Lucille home. Father would have a coronary if I brought a woman home. She's not pregnant, is she? Lucille's his truck. Duncan doesn't have a license, but guess what? Neither does Blade.
Neither of them have a driver's license? Okay.
Can't mess up the truck. They're going back to wood shop.
Lucille's got one of the most sophisticated fuel-burning hydraulic systems in the world. I ain't even getting into her high-tech lubrication flow bearing rotation design. Yo, she's bad. Tension.
Yeah, that's never going to come up again.
Duncan's driving the truck horribly. Demeter's impressed. Blade runs the bike into a car in the parking lot right in front of Ellen.
He's wonderful.
I don't want you to call her Demeter again, Zach. Her name is Titty.
Titty.
I'm not going to participate in your misogyny, okay?
Yeah, Maze.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Maze.
Oh, excuse me.
Blade goes home. Mom's added some more locks to the door.
Maze. You and I will call her the Titty, though. Zach doesn't have to be a part of this.
Blade hasn't even been home since he got out of prison?
Confusing.
Blade ass on when he rolls his eyes at his mom.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Then Duncan's dad wants him to get a haircut. So we've got haircut joke, cut into haircut joke. I'm just expressing myself aerodynamically. But that hair is the opposite of aerodynamic.
They're asking about him meeting anyone at school, same social level, intellectual abilities. And that's when Blade comes over, ringing the doorbell incessantly.
Blade? Is that your name?
Dad? Is that yours?
That's a great line.
Golden dumpster.
Duncan takes Blade upstairs to work on homework. Blade opens up a suitcase of things he brought. It's gear. Gear. It's code for clothes.
You too can be a Soul Train dancer.
Not like the Kmart stuff you wear. Kmart This is JCPenney's top of the line.
20th century bitch.
Very 20th century.
Blade wants Duncan to wear his gold tooth. Fits like a charm. Gross.
That's not hygienic.
Final touch. Blade twists his hair into a new style.
Cut to Duncan screaming. Callback.
Dad goes to check on all the noise. He hears, told you you're going to like this.
Golden dumpster.
Stop squirming. Will you stop blowing me? It's getting me much too hot.
Yeah.
Dear, what's the matter? Duncan's mom, ass on. And they wonder about his sexual preference.
I was never aware he had one. Blade's trademark is in full effect, he says. Blade takes Duncan out of the house.
If you're gonna be Blade Brown, gotta know where Blade Brown comes from.
Thought you crawled out from under a rock. Blade smacks him in the back of the head. Big movie for smacking people in the back of the head. Golden dumpster, smacking people in the back of the head.
So much head smacks.
You hurt my tooth, not the gold one, my bicuspid. Hits him again.
How's your tooth now?
Boy, are you sensitive. They go to a club. Everyone knows Blade. He's 18? 17?
I don't understand what the hell is happening here, man.
He's in juvie. He's definitely 17 because he doesn't turn 18 until at the end of the school year. And you know what we got here, boys? First of all, we got a great soundtrack. We got Ow! Ow! Everybody. Montage in the club, a dating montage.
Oh, yeah.
The likes of which we haven't seen since Hall Pass.
Blade hits on a girl at work. Duncan tries. Girl walks away. Blade gets two girls to do a threesome?
Yes.
Menage a note.
By just whispering in both of their ears. That's it.
Twice the fun.
Girl comes up and starts kissing Blade. Duncan sprays a girl in the face with Banaka. Remember Banaka? Man.
Dumb and Dumber stole that bit from this movie.
Is Blade banging all these girls?
Yes, in the bathroom.
How long are they there?
No, I thought he was dancing with the first two and then he had a threesome.
But there's two more girls after that.
That's how I know he banged, because it said, yo, Simon, homeboy, it's been a hell of a night. And he's holding like panties in his hand.
Oh.
And then the girl comes up and fucking makes out with him.
Duncan finally gets a girl to dance and he goes full Lauryn Hill. Bumps into two big guys and Blade says he's with him.
But he does a good job of it.
Fruity and Go-Go are happy to see Blade. Talk business later.
Whoa. Fruity, Go-Go. Also, Simon the bartender, 1000%, buddy. Anytime you want to be NBA media at a Doc Rivers press conference, you are welcome, sir. He was totally enwrapped, enamored by everything that Blade said. It was like, yeah, oh my God, Blade, you're so right.
So Fruity and Go-Go are either high schoolers themselves, which is hilarious because they look like offensive linemen, or they're two grown men who have nothing better to do but be at the beck and call of a high school student who needs bullies taken care of in the future.
No, Blade Brown is a badass. That's the idea. Like, he's got mad respect in these streets, G, and his shit is mad dope. You don't want to front on him, because if you do, you're going to have to recognize, yeah, boy.
You ever back on someone after they front on you?
They back on me, though.
They leave. Blade tells him to kick language as if he's got it going on. Get with the program.
Like a Microsoft Word program on my computer?
20th century, bitch. And also, boy, are these pants billowy, boys.
Hey, oh my God, like Patrick Swayze.
Mm-hmm.
You don't kick some butt. You be kicking some ass. You don't hit on a girl. You be hitting on a bitch.
Okay, I get it. I use the word be followed by the gerund or the first person singular of the verb.
Huh?
You know, like I be going home or I be getting a good mark this year in class.
Now, that's hype.
What?
Hype. Stupid. Dope. Living large. In the mix.
One thing at a time. Now, let's go back to this be thing. What if it's used with an intransitive verb?
Say what?
Let's say I'm on a plane to New York. Would I be fly on the plane to New York?
Well, that depends.
Depends on what?
On what you be wearing.
I be fly if I dress a certain way?
That's right.
That answer's stupid.
Thanks.
Did you hear me? I said that was stupid.
Did you hear me? I said thanks.
Are you deaf?
Man, I'm the deafest brother on this block.
You're deaf.
That's right.
I think Blade Brown is the biggest asshole on the planet. Oh. Hey, you're not deaf.
I love his grammatical interpretation of this. And then the way that he tries to incorporate it going forward.
Forever, I've always had the line, I think Blade Brown is the biggest asshole on the planet. I've always had that like stuck in my head. Like that's what I think of when I think of this movie.
That one stayed with me as well. Also, deaf and stupid as compliments 20th century bitch.
Blade takes him home, grabs a suitcase. Duncan says he needs something from Blade. Help him pass phys ed. Blade will need some of Duncan's clothes. He'll get his own.
As he's grabbing clothes, something squeaked. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah. Is that supposed to be a dog toy, but we never see the dog?
I don't like, is he a clown?
Yeah, it might have been a clown. Yeah, I don't know. As Blade is leaving, he almost runs into the parents. Kid of theirs will make one hell of a homie. Then he says, nice cups. Did he say homo?
The parents are just running around with cookies and milk.
That's some 20th century bitch shit right there.
Like Santa's coming to town.
That's what I love about 20th century bitch moments. Sometimes it's as overt as deaf and stupid being the whole who's on first bit.
But cookies and milk were a real thing, man.
Real thing. I can't stress this enough. You couldn't eat cookies if you didn't have a glass of milk.
No, not at all.
Cookies, milk, instantly. Particularly at night. The nighttime snack after dinner was cookies and milk. I haven't had a glass of milk to drink in like fucking 15 years.
The only time I ever do it still is if I'm home at my parents' place and my mom makes cookies. Not just like, they have, like she makes cookies. Then I will still do it because my dad still drinks milk for some reason.
Okay, so you know why?
Why?
Because your dad is 20th century, bitch. That's why.
He is. My dad might be 19th century sometimes.
Big Milk's really lost its hold on the market.
I mean, remember the whole Got Milk campaign?
Man.
That was one of the biggest ad campaigns ever.
If you got tabbed for a Got Milk campaign ad,
you made it.
You super made it. You are the height of pop culture recognition and respectability.
Wedge gets let out of the custodian closet.
Blade Brown, your ass is mine.
Custodian is mopping up. There is a poster on the wall. It says Fido Dido's workout. Do you guys remember Fido Dido?
I do, yeah.
It was a 7-Up fucking mascot. Weird kind of sketch drawing. At that time, people started figuring out like soda for kids is probably not so great. So then like the soda companies are like, oh, we'll just show them how to work out. And that's what's on the wall. It's so fucking subtle.
20th century.
Oh, very 20th century, bitch. Oh my God. Fido Dido. I had a Fido Dido, mad Fido Dido t-shirts. Not just one. I had like 3 or 4.
That was your equivalent of the Bartles and James t-shirts.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
All right, it's time for phys ed. Very different classes for each guy. Duncan gets football.
Blade is in wrestling class. Wrestling coach, ass off. Calls them candy asses with doctor's notes.
Wedge is chasing Duncan through the hurdles, through the stands.
You can't ignore the soundtrack exposition happening. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
How'd they get that song? That must just be their Friends with Hammer, right?
Here's how I know this is a Friends with Hammer situation. Because at the end of the movie, I watched the credits just to make sure that Nick Fury doesn't come to recruit Blade. They have the songs and the credits, and under Can't Touch This, it's not credited as MC Hammer. It's credited as Hammer. If you remember, he went through this transition where it's like, I'm not cute and cuddly with a cartoon. I'm Hammer. Pumps and a bumps Hammer. He wanted to go through a gangster rap phase. And so the fact that they credit him as Hammer, not MC Hammer, tells me this is way, way past the cute and cuddly MC Hammer. You can't touch his face.
They're playing football with no pads. People are just elbowing each other in the face.
Yeah.
Runs into people hurdling because he's distracted by girls.
Fruity and Go-Go grab Wedge when he goes behind the bleachers with Duncan. They put a fitted sheet over him and they beat the shit out of him.
Smashing his face into everything. The wall, the dumpster.
Blade punches out a kid in wrestling and says that he beat him. He pinned him.
Coach loves it.
Coach wants to see Duncan kick a football. He measures out the geometry and the physics of it all. He crushes it through the uprights.
We get some fantastic ADR background exposition. It's a 50-yard kick.
Then why was he failing PE?
Because no one ever made him kick a football before.
But he did all this math.
He explained the calculation.
Couldn't he have done it one time?
No one ever asked him to, Amin.
I guess so. All right.
Song starts playing and he's crushing field goals.
Fucking Mort Anderson all of a sudden.
Doing a little dance before it. He's really feeling himself. I love the extension on his leg. after the kick.
He's actually got pretty good form.
Yeah. He probably kicked it about 7 feet in real life, but his form is amazing.
I bought it, man. He's going to be the coach's secret weapon. You and me are going to be real close.
Future callback? No.
Attention.
They just yada yada this.
Cut to science class. Popsicle's playing with a frog.
Trying to get it to lick his lollipop.
Tamita and Duncan are observing their frog.
Frog is so wet and slippery.
Popsicle is ass off with the frog and the lollipop, man.
Biology is so real, huh? Yo, Tamita, I thought you were going to play with my frog.
Frog ain't jumping in my direction. New tadpole in town.
Ooh.
They're just sad.
Gives him her address on a folded up piece of paper. 20th century, bitch.
Same note too, bro. Was I the only one who said, bitch, don't call my dick a tadpole? Reputation out here.
That's when Popsicle mocks Wedge.
Dude, Vito, I thought you were going to play with I fucking
Blade science class. He needs to give a dissertation on human sexuality.
Got the wrong student, not ready.
Needs help from Ellen. He gets a 1-day extension. Ellen gives him her home address.
On a folded up piece of paper.
Wedge spies on Duncan and Tamita. Then he pulls up alongside him. They're going to race.
In a Suzuki truck. The hydraulics are going crazy. Duncan accidentally goes backwards and Wedge crashes directly into a cop car.
And that's when we meet Tommy from Martin.
Oh, shit, man.
This really took a turn, if you ask me, when they bring this guy in his pink suit.
Tommy was such a great character.
I saw Tommy. I was like, oh, it's Tommy. Oh, man, he looked real skinny and slim there. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and I realized, oh, shit, he's not bald. His hairline is literally on the top of his head.
It's a real James Brown, Stephen A. Smith, Jerry Rice situation.
No, not Stephen A. Smith, not Jerry Rice. It's Alan Major. You guys remember Alan Major? He was the head coach at UNC Charlotte.
Yes.
That's the situation we got going on here.
We've got Tommy bailing him out of jail.
Getting let out from fucking the central lockup or something, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed. Because they're hookers who are handcuffed being walked in.
Future callback.
As they're walking out.
It's probably the same hookers. The man is named Mink. You look like a slab of meat in Rocky. And Stallone year rolls on.
But wiser, you created a monster.
And they call me Cinephobe.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy asks, is he having trouble in school? Heard Blade has him looking like a chump. Whole school is looking up to him. It's bad for business. If they don't look up to Wedge, he's got to get rid of Wedge.
So Wedge is a drug dealer, apparently, which we just learned.
We have to look up to you, Wedge, as you wear a pink tank top with overalls that's cut off as a midriff.
Hey, man, that was a style. Don't you dare. You can't tell me Dennis Scott and Olden Polynice didn't have the same outfit.
Duncan is having a really hard time getting dressed.
Yeah, we have trouble with the outfit montage.
You know, you guys surprised at how hairy his chest is?
It was weird hair.
Well, it's called taco meat.
I know what taco meat is, you dipshit.
No, you don't.
I'm just saying it was
You're
very
white.
spaced out.
Yo, it's Black History Month, man. I'm not going to have you talk to me like this, all right?
Don't tell me I don't know what taco meat is, okay? I know what taco meat is.
Well, your white ass don't know. You white, you Ben Affleck.
His parents are putting together a model ship.
There she blows!
And they got a telescope. Why do they have a telescope?
They're really into it.
It's a model ship.
Yeah, they bought it as part of a package deal.
Blade pulls up on a motorcycle to Ellen's place. He's about to bail, and she comes out.
Blade is wearing a neon green blazer.
Blade. Laser. Blazer.
It is a ridiculous blazer.
No, man, that was the style. I'm not going to let you have this 90s style erasure. Absolutely not.
More on that later.
Duncan shows up to Demita's. He's getting heckled by guys on a couch outside on the sidewalk.
They call him Little Red Riding Hood.
Is this supposed to be LA, by the way?
Yes.
Man, he really took some chances by pulling up in an all red car.
He sure did.
Wearing all red head to toe. I was like, damn, okay. On Bompton, I guess.
He thought they were doing biology paper. She says they need to do some research first. And she wants to see how fast that truck goes.
She snatches the keys right out of his hand.
Blade and Ellen are sitting in a garbanzo or a gazebo talking. He swears and she says she loves it when he talks dirty like that.
I laughed.
She wants to find her wild side. He doesn't believe she has one.
You're like that flower, all soft and pretty, respectable like. Me, I'm like the other flower. All rough and ugly.
Yeah.
Nothing you'd want to decorate your living room with.
She says it's dying. How sexy.
Sexy? What's so sexy about that? In Much Ado About Nothing, Shakespeare wrote, I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. Yeah? So? in his time, to die the way he used it meant to have sexual orgasm.
And I said, word?
Yo, hold up. My man Shakespeare was rapping about popping in some girl's coochie.
Well, I guess you could say that.
I'm sorry. I meant making love.
20th century bitch.
My man Shakespeare.
To die means orgasm? In that case, I've been dying 4 or 5 times a day.
Good for you, man.
Suicide.
Shadowjacker, you haven't come out of your masturbation cave in eons.
It's high time I emerge from my cum cocoon.
You really are some kind of wild.
Some kind of wild fool.
He wants to tell her about who he really is, but instead he just says, let's go. Cut to a club. We got Duncan and Demita sitting at a table. Guy's hitting on her.
Pootie Tang starts hollering. Oh, Miss Thing, how you doing?
Scimitar on the patty tie.
You look just like Robin Givens, baby. Just call me Mike Tyson.
I want to sign your pity on the runny kind.
I got to have that, man. I got to have that.
Damn diddy bitty.
They come over, trying to get her to dance. She says, you're messing with the wrong bitch, okay?
I like a female with a mouth.
She yells, says he has a Jerry curl. He takes exception to that. It's all natural. Puts lemon juice in it.
This is natural, baby.
My man's not going to stand for that. What's Mop Top going to do?
Lenny Kravitz looking somebody.
I say we flip him. Heads, we beat him up. Tails, we beat him up.
I like those odds.
Blade, ain't you going to stand up for me? You're the Blade Brown. They start to respectfully walk away.
No, sir, Mr. Brown.
These dudes are old. These dudes look older than me right now.
Yeah. They're worried about a 17-year-old.
Not Pootie Tang, the other two dudes. And the guy in the background is very, very into this whole thing. Acting his ass off background, man.
He stands up and acts tough. I think the three of y'all are trying to play me. I am Blade Brown, the dopest, hypest brother on the block. True. I think you be needing to get out of here where you force me to clarify on yourself with my fists. Like this. Fakes like he's going after him. They run off. Blade's there with Ellen. He approves. Demita loves it. Come on, girl. I think we'd be needing some fresh air. Place is through. As they walk out, he stops at Blade's table. Asks what he's looking at.
Before he hits a Blade, there's a white guy walking by minding his business.
Yeah, he fakes it in.
I love that so much. I'm so fucking childish sometimes.
You really are.
That shit was so funny to me.
Blade starts to stand up and Ellen stops him. He says he's sorry. That's what I thought you said. We'll slap him tonight because he likes him. Ellen calls the whole thing pathetic.
When guys have to prove their masculinity, they end up looking foolish.
Demita and Duncan drive off, and then she has him pull over. He asks if she would like him if he wasn't so powerful.
Blade, you're cool no matter what.
What if he was a nerd?
But you are cool, so don't even worry about it.
Sirius wants to know about her inside.
And I want you to know me inside. Ooh.
Ew.
She was throwing it, and he was like, let me ask more questions. And I said, nobody's passing up sex to find out if she really likes you. You have the sex, and then you start asking the questions later. Does she really like me? That's right, Baxter.
She wants to show him something. They get out of the truck. They go inside a wax museum.
Madame Lawanda's wax museum, where the titty works. And then she doesn't take him to a wax sculpture. She takes him to a photo of a wax sculpture of Conan the Barbarian. She designed it.
You dare have the Hercules.
And what do you mean designed it? Did you make it? Because it's just based on a real person.
She dressed them.
They're having high schoolers do that? I know she looks like she's about 30, but I just still feel like she's supposed to be 17.
Madame Lawanda's got a great internship program, free labor.
She likes that he's strong and tough. He's honest, no secrets. He drops her off at her place. The hecklers are watching them. Duncan wants to tell her, and then he chickens out, says do the biology paper tomorrow.
The titties also got the cheeks.
Demita
Yes, she does.
pushes him against the gate and kisses him and grabs his ass.
He's sticking all his limbs out and just wobbling.
I wobble too.
Blade drops Ellen off. As he's about to explain his identity, she kisses him. Blade kisses her and then runs into the gate as he leaves.
Hits his nuts. Comedy.
Now he's at Duncan's house.
And this is the part where I said, how big is that lime green jacket?
It's huge, man.
Yo, Steve Harvey would blush at the size of this jacket draped over her. I need help with my dissemination.
Dissemination.
Find an angle that makes it jam in my head? Cut to Blade, studying at the kitchen table. His mom is confused. He's doing homework. She asks about the rose on the table. What's it doing there?
Do you guys think that Loretta Devine is underutilized here because she's underutilized or because
Absolutely.
they couldn't afford her for more than like 3 scenes?
Oh, probably couldn't afford her because she was big. She was a real character actress.
I think it's just underutilized.
Someone gave him the rose because they thought he was special. So he put it there for her. Tension?
His mom, man. It's his mom.
I mean, you thought a sister raped her 10-year-old brother.
They were hicks.
Because he had chocolate on his face.
They were hillbillies.
They were yuppies. What are you talking about?
They were just white people. They weren't Hicks or hillbillies.
Troll 2?
No! Teen Witch.
Oh my God.
Dipshit.
Oh.
The movie you filed, remember?
Yeah, the movie
you fraud.
you claim you love.
Love that movie.
Cut to him in class giving a presentation that analogizes cars to sex. Fuel injection and rotation. Increase speed depending on how big your shaft is. Most cases, lubrication and piston control are a must. Really should keep a coil around if it gets too hot. As you can see, science is my life. And then he folds up a collapsible pointer. 20th century, bitch.
Love a collapsible pointer.
Me too.
What does this have to do with human sexual behavior? Think about it. Where does most sex take place?
20th century, bitch.
Oh, yes, I love it. Human sexuality is a function of breeding environment. What you just said, lady. Oh, splendid, splendid.
People in 20th century bitch pieces of content, they were all having sex in cars and nowhere else. You ever had sex in a car?
Yeah, first time I tried. I had a shitty little Ford Ranger with a cabin shell on the back, you know?
Oh, God.
It was free. I don't know what to tell you. I got to drive it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was free.
Is this when you had Oakley's and a goatee?
No, this is before Oakley. This is well before Oakley, okay?
I like Zach pull up in his Ford Ranger. You put the Oakley's down the bridge of your nose. Like,
Just like these genuine pair of Oakleys, there is no substitute for the original. You hear me? Come here.
The 95 brown Ford Ranger that had the camper shell in the back. And so the first time the girl I was seeing, we drove off to like get away because I was still living in my parents' house. And so we pulled off on this like side street and get in the back and start going at her, whatever. And a cop came up and knocked on the window. And so he didn't like see us. He didn't like bust us or anything, but he just like knocked on the window and walked away. And then we stopped and drove off somewhere else.
Did you bust us?
I didn't bust then, but I have since had sex in that truck.
Wow. Maze, what about you?
I have a fairly similar story where I was in Golden Gate Park and a cop came because you're not supposed to be there overnight. And I had left the radio playing and then the battery died.
Oh.
So then I had to like call AAA to get a jump in the middle of the night after the cops came by.
What were you playing? Was it I love you, you love me, we're a happy family?
Look, I'm not the one who bought a 15-year-old today, all right?
Oh, that's right. Zach did buy it.
I got a Macallan's Scotch.
How old is she?
Yeah. I don't care what her name was. Zach, did you buy it from Wayfair?
Mary McCallan? Like, what are you talking about?
Fine Oak, Highland single malt Scotch whiskey.
She's single?
And she's fine, too.
Cut to Wedge, chasing Pop. He wants to get high, he needs to pay the man. Duncan says to drop him. They're going to fight. So they go off to a classroom. As Wedge walks in, Fruity and Go-Go are still there. They grab him with the sheet again, beat his ass up, slamming into things, including a typewriter.
How did he know that they'd be in the classroom? Have they been waiting in the classroom the whole time?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. They have nothing else to do.
These guys are just there to be his guardian angels.
They smash his head into 5 different things. His face is taking such a beating. It's brutal. He's definitely got CTE now.
The Canon typewriter. Yo, I just noticed that now. The whole time I thought it was a periodic table. I didn't even pay attention.
No, it's a typewriter.
Oh my God, 20th century, bitch.
Yeah, he says nice, but you misspelled ouch. Students are amazed by the sounds in the room. They hold Wedge up to Duncan. He hurts himself elbowing Wedge in the face. Says, say pretty please. Pretty please. Okay, you can go. He drops him outside the room. Duncan walks out.
Yo, that kid looks like Buster Douglas.
Reference.
Nobody's impressed other than Dougie Doug. Everyone else is just kind of, word. Okay.
Popsicle thanks him. He was sweating me for some loot for some yayo.
He's doing cocaine?
Cocaine?
Crackle nail?
What are you doing here, Popsicle?
Blade and Duncan are doing a walk and talk. And Duncan is starting to cramp Blade's style. Blade wants Duncan to teach him how to do homework for himself. And then out of nowhere...
Sound the alarm.
Pauly Shore's character from Encino Man shows up. The Weasel.
We got a Pauly Shore storm coming, and he's dressed like Prince.
Cool, buddies. Tyson, Rasta Butts, creasing outside of your map. Lynn, Bladage, dude, talk to me. Ginsu.
What?
I know you're clueless like my whole gig, right? But my name is Julian Thomas, and I'm the Weasel Hawk. And I'm organizing the stoniest anti-drug rally and dance tomorrow night. And my lobes just experienced through the grapevineage that you and drugs are not like a killer combo. And I fully think that's me. Sure.
Against drugs. I am? Wait a minute.
Oh, no, I am. My lobes also experienced that you know how to rock the mic, and I'd be fully stoked, bro, if you could do it at the dance tomorrow night. I got 5 topless dancers from Sloppy Sue's. They're gonna have pumps, minis, and the fake cones are gonna be chilling. The woods are gonna be created down below, right? And they're gonna dance in cages on each side of the stage. That is if they don't shine. Do you think that's too harsh for like an anti-drug rally, buddies?
Nah.
Yes. So I could Crayola you in? No.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Later, buddies.
The whole time I thought to myself, man, I hate to do it in Black History Month, but Play, you're running away with this ass on.
He is, isn't he?
And then Pauly Shore showed up. And I said, saved by the bell.
Later, buddies.
Why?
It's Major.
Why are we reprising a role from a movie that wasn't good?
Well, hold on. Encino Man's a great movie.
Future Cinephobe, that will be judged.
File it.
Phobe.
File it.
Phobe.
File it.
Phobe.
You're out of your mind. You're going to watch it and you're going to love it unless you want to be stubborn.
No, I don't want to be stubborn.
It's not the same guy, is it? It's just Pauly Shore.
No, he's the Weasel.
I fucking hate you.
There's not a whiter thing during Black History Month than me saying he's the Weasel.
Fruity and Go-Go watching The Dating Game, and the conversation was $75, and he didn't even get a kiss. And I said, 20th century manosphere, bitch.
All right, Blade's going to teach Duncan how to dance and rap. 50% is attitude, style, body language.
I can't rap like you, and I can't dance like you.
Words need to come from upstairs. Duncan dances like Lauryn Hill again.
He's pretty good at dancing poorly.
He is, because we know he can dance for real. Also, 20th century, bitch. Put this tape deck in. Tapes, the music, the dancing. All of it is 20th century, bitch.
The clothes.
The clothes.
The dating game.
Blade's dance at the last one he tries to teach him. That's a great dance, man. That's classic Kid and Play right there.
Way more complex than any other dance he tried to teach him.
Yeah, it was the hardest one by far. The hardest one by far.
Why are you building up to this?
Tommy and his goons threaten Wedge over not having the money. Never make promises you can't keep. You let Blade diss you in front of everybody. No wonder they didn't pay you. He pulls a gun out on Wedge. Says,
time to take out the garbage.
Wedge says Blade is stealing Tommy's money, trying to edge in on his territory. Tommy's going to pay him a visit.
His hairline is distracting. Very distracting.
Wedge is crying. Thank you. Thank God. My brother. Stop whining, you silly bitch.
Duncan's leaving for a dance. He and Blade are going to. Dad's concerned that he's a homosexual.
What up, money? Money? It's a figure of speech, Dad. Can't talk. Going to a big dance with Blade.
He's so disappointed when he hears that.
Dance time. And we got the whole crowd dancing the same dance.
The club from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Way more rhythm and way more syncage. They are synced the hell up.
Wedge is driving Tommy to the dance.
Do you have any extra bullets? I think so. Do you or don't you have any? I don't. And then he gets smacked in the back of the head.
Duncan gets there. Time for their performance. Pauly says the 5 dancers from Sloppy Sue's couldn't make it due to Poison Oak.
I figured it'd be in bad taste for them to show up this evening. And then he sings, and this is terrible.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a stony, crusty dude with a mop on top. My melon's fully tweaked. I'll never stop. Stop trying to reach the nuts from coast to coast. The ones with the cones, I drink the most. Wait. Okay, chill, okay?
Crowd boos until he stops. Then he brings out the Blade. Blade pushes Duncan on stage. Pauly calls Blade Tyson once again.
Just trip into the mic, bro. You're going to be fully with it. Don't worry, okay? Don't let him see you sweat.
Duncan's up there, looks around. It's silent. We get the requisite feedback sound. Hit it. Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Another hyped one for you. And he starts rapping.
High school doesn't mean you got to get high. Get caught up with any drugs that can be brought up. Like the dope smoke smack, the crack-a-lack-a-lack, the set of the chunky black. Is that heroin?
Mays, give us more of this 1990s after-school special raps.
Not just 90s, early 90s.
Early 90s. Hey, kids, say no to drugs and crack is whack and all that stuff. Also, at some point, when Play makes his way up on the stage, Kid rhymes the dynamic duo in the house. Amazon's nerd ass thought it said dynamic duo winner, ha.
There's so much Pauly Shore dancing.
There's a man with a shirt tucked in very tightly, pink shirt, doing backflips in the front. He is going nuts. This is some very 20th century bitch rapping right here.
Duncan's horrible, Blade's better, but yeah, it's very, very 20th century bitch. Dance is over. Blade's talking to Ellen. She almost fainted when he got on stage. What made him do it?
It was like a wild streak busting out in me.
Hey, yo.
She wants to do something wild too. They got all night miniature golf.
She pulls a condom out and puts it in his hand.
And that's how you do it right there. You just say, we can find somewhere. You don't be like, but do you really like me though? I don't know.
They're getting it on in his truck.
Lucille, whose breeding environment is this?
And then she says, let's make bacon.
They hit the button for the hydraulics.
Thought she meant babies at first.
That line stayed with me for like 30 years, by the way.
Let's make bacon?
Every time we're about to have sex, I say, hey, let's make bacon.
He thinks it's a class act. Right before sex, like, oh, is this the time I use this term? No.
And then I only call them Demita.
The titties.
Duncan is walking Demita.
The titties.
Speaking of, she asks where he learned all that. The street.
You guys jammed. Jammed Jim. Jammed Jimmy Jammy.
It's inbred. A lot of inbreeding going on in the streets.
What? He was dope. Big time dope with a capital D or Dapital.
Dapital D. She says her mom is working tonight, kisses him, and grabs his ass again.
Popsicle is trying to flirt by shouting in a girl's face.
Oh my God! Between you and me, you gotta go in. Bang, boom, pat! You the finest girl I've seen in this high school in 6 years.
As funny as that is, there's nothing as funny as her jacket. It's such a 20th
It's about as 20th century as it gets.
20th century bitch meant you had to wear leather jackets that had very declarative statements on them.
Very declarative statements on it.
It had to have words on it, and the words had to make these points in no uncertain terms. Zach, what does her jacket say?
Say no problems?
No problem. She's got a no.
But the no
is huge.
It's gigantic. And then there's just this white problem just across the middle of the N and the O.
Just to let you know, if you're paying attention, she's not saying no, guys. She's saying no problem.
Just like Freddie Hugo.
No.
Might treat no problem. All right. Tommy's goons show up. They grab Duncan, pull him in the car. Demita sees it, runs after him. Popsicle sees it. He goes too. They drive off with Duncan. These guys stop Blade with Ellen. Fruity and Go-Go say they got Duncan. Everybody drives off.
As they drive off, there's a geo tracker in the background. That's a 20th century bitch. Overload. A yellow geo tracker.
Duncan apologizes to Wedge for beating him up. Peer pressure made him do it. Tommy says he's a businessman and Duncan is screwing up the business.
Nice do. Ha ha. Crack me up, y'all.
I want to make clear to people who are not watching this. When you look at Tommy from this front view of the front of the car, we're looking at everyone in there.
Look at his hairline, man.
He looks bald. He's a bald man, just like you remember him from Martin. But the moment he turns around,
you see the side hair.
You see the side hair, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, it's worse than Costanza in some ways.
Time to cause some serious brain damage. He shows him the gun.
A gun would cause more than brain damage, maybe cerebral hemorrhage.
Popsicle knows what the car looks like as they drive around because he has a photographic memory like Lee Majors in The Bionic Man. Reference.
20th century bitch reference.
Popsicle asks Ellen if her bra is Playtex, and she says, go touch yourself.
It's the next day. Blade, Demita, and Ellen and Popsicle are all on a bank of payphones.
20th century bitch. Oh my.
Popsicle keeps screaming, Uncle Theopolis. Theopolis. Uncle Theopolis, get your hearing aid.
Golden dumpster.
They find the car. They're chasing after him. They bump the bumper. Duncan climbs out of the sunroof. Fruity and Go-Go grab for him. They almost hit a man doing the street lines. A semi-truck with Hawkinson on the side of it almost hits Tommy and Wedge's car.
They narrowly avoid getting Helen hunted by the Hawkinson's truck.
Stupid ignoramus, paint the line straight. Ass off for the boss.
Duncan is now in Blade's truck. Tommy's shooting at them as they drive under the underpass. Somehow Wedge lost them. They were 8 feet apart.
How about somehow Wedge has been driving around all night long with the guy in the car?
And one eye.
You gonna kill him or not?
He knows they're headed to the Wax Museum. In the Wax Museum, we've got Alex Trebek.
Look, Chuck Woolery. No, that's Pat Sajak, man. Good thinking, Pinkerpuss. The name is Pinder Hughes. Duncan Pinder Hughes. I'm sick and tired of you screwing up my name. Sick and tired of being you, period.
That's when everyone finds out they're the other person. Demita's pissed. Ellen's pissed.
Popsicle is heartbroken, standing next to 3 wax stooges.
You're not my man. You're a genius. I can't believe I was hanging out with a genius, man. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up nasty chicken grease and corn oil and cream of wheat. I'm just getting sick thinking about throwing up.
There's also wax figures of Danny DeVito and Christopher Lloyd from Taxi.
Ass off for this Christopher Lloyd wax figure. Ass on for Frank Reynolds, though. The Christopher Lloyd one looks exactly like him.
It's really good, yeah.
The Danny DeVito one was just like, just get me a short person.
One guy's got to watch the car in the red zone. Now we get a sped up everybody trying to hide.
This scene.
There goes Chuck Woolery. Not him, stupid.
It's Jimmy Swaggart. Every person in this movie has face blindness like a man.
No, it's just that these are white people.
Just the whites.
Black History Month, bitch. This scene takes entirely way too long. If you want to just fast forward through it, I'm cool.
It's really some Scooby-Doo energy.
They're chasing after him. They're shooting at him. There's some Benny Hill action.
The scene is 7 minutes long.
This is the big finale.
Tommy just keeps Bruce Ariansing the hell out of Wedge with slapping him in the back of the head.
There's a massive stand-up bass and tuba in there for them to pretend to be Louis Armstrong's band.
Hit the guy with the tuba. We get more shooting.
They climb through a vent.
Eventually, Duncan runs out and punches Wedge and knocks him out into a fake fruit stand.
In slow motion. They've got everybody tied up. That's when repeat offender, the cop, runs in. And that concludes the flashback, guys.
I had forgotten that this is how this movie started, was with a flashback.
Unbelievable. That was all one flashback.
This is just a dream.
It's all Blade's fault. I would have never been here. You also never would have met Demita either. That's true. And you'd still be a wimp. PO officer walks in, tells Duncan to grab a seat and turn down the volume on that jacket.
I like that.
Then tells them that they're being released because they need Blade. Everyone's free to go. They need him to testify against Tommy. Go back to school because you're good role models. Blade says he's got things to see and people to do.
Duncan gives him the gold tooth back. What you been eating? Popsicle tells the cop, see you later, Isaac Hayes. The pleasure's mine, Whoopi.
Whoopi month.
Whoopi month.
Whoopi month is back.
Cops ask Duncan to fix him up with the principal's secretary, the one with the big titties.
Duncan says his parents are going to kill him.
And they walk past hookers on their way out. Boom! Pat!
Blade says Pender Hughes correctly. Duncan's amazed. Blade apologizes for everything. He needs help getting Ellen. He really likes that girl. She hates him. Duncan says the Knowledge Bowl will help.
Yes, the Knowledge Bowl. We still have to do that. Popsicle's so desperate. Can I hang with y'all? Can I roll with y'all? Can I be down with y'all? Then he gets right back to hype manning.
Principal is amazed. The identities were switched.
Cut to the Knowledge Bowl starring Skip Wakeman.
Yeah.
Incredible Whiteman name.
Duncan gets golden section answer correct. Guarded is in the crowd with the assistant. Blade doesn't know any answers. Duncan does. It's the end of the lightning round. The teams are tied.
The prize is an all expenses paid vacation for 2 to Hawaii for a high school trivia contest. And the principal's just like, yes. Also a brand new hardwood floor for the school gym.
They redo the floor, which, yeah, that's great. Academics paying for more sports stuff. Good job.
And the ultimate callback that I was not expecting.
Much ado about nothing. What does the word die mean?
The exact quote that Ellen mentioned earlier. Blade buzzes in.
And everything's in slow-mo.
Duncan is stunned. Like Sicko the robot just came in from the other room.
We hear Ellen talking about it from earlier.
Why wouldn't she just answer it? She's right there.
She's mad.
It means to pop the... I'm sorry. It means to have a sexual orgasm. That is correct.
My boy's a genius.
Thanks for watching Knowledge Bowl. I'm the Wankster.
50 Cent will write a song about me. 15 years.
Everybody celebrates. Blade apologizes to Ellen for lying. She says, shut up, and she kisses him. Outside, Demita calls for Penderhughes.
If you ever in your lifetime lie to me again, I will kick your ass. If you don't treat me right, I will kick your ass. And if you don't come here right now and give me a kiss, I will kick your ass. They kiss.
This is the worst, most disturbing part of the movie. His parents hear him fucking.
Yep.
What was that, dear? I'm afraid to find out.
But I'm going to find out.
Dad walks in on them fucking.
I thought he was just going to put the pillow over his head and they're going to just continue to think he's gay. Nope. Dad wants to see it with his own eyes.
My son, my beautifully wonderful son. Are you too comfortable? Can I get you anything? A beverage? Anything at all?
We're kind of in the middle of something here, Dad.
Hope you have your Jimmy hat on. Jimmy hat, 20th century, bitch.
And then he winks and does a little dance. What was that noise, dear? Oh, nothing, hun. Just our son Duncan making it with some sexy babe in his room. Boy, was she stacked.
Yes.
I'm just so proud of him.
And that turns the mom on.
And then they fuck.
What?
Cut to Duncan in a crazy pattern chair in a white studio.
What?
So that's how the story ended. An exposition coming out of nowhere to make an unbelievable push for the Horsemen in the home stretch.
Recap's position coming back.
Blade ended up at Hafford, majored in extracurricular activities. Duncan got the football scholarship to Stanford. Can I kick it?
He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Duncan Penderhughes boots the Cardinal to national title.
Blade wants to tell his side of the story and start over from the beginning. They're not going to sit through this whole thing again.
I love this. Let's break the fourth wall.
That was your story. Mine's is much better. It involves sex, car chases, and sex. Hip-hop, and more sex. Did I tell you about sex? He says fade to black, and the credits roll.
He tells him, he orders the director to fade to black. These guys are like friends, you know? It's kind of a jocular relationship that they have right there. It's like, oh, no. I know this guy. Don't worry about it. Just fade to black. And we fade to black. Credits. Trivia.
This film is an urban retelling of Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper.
Urban.
Which, of course, also inspired Trading Places. In an interview with the New York morning radio show The Breakfast Club, Kid and Play stated that in this film, they play characters that are close to how they are in real life.
No.
How they were when they first met.
What?
With Kid being the studious academic.
No way.
And Play being the street savvy one.
Wow.
So different from their original movie House Party, where Kid was the studious academic type and Play was the street savvy hoodlum.
We are the Four Horsemen. Woo!
Interesting field here. Very interesting field. So flashback. The whole movie is a flashback. Exposition, because technically the whole movie is just one giant piece of exposition that he's telling to the cop. But an unexpected contender in this corner, the Count of Monte Cristo, 20th century bitch, coming out swinging.
Wait, how many horsemen do we have now? That's like 30 horsemen. Like, it means it's a goddamn cavalry at this point. It's too many horsemen.
Then just give it to exposition.
Yeah, I feel like exposition's the winner here.
I kind of feel like we need to acknowledge the 20th century bitchness of this movie. It's a very 20th century bitch movie.
All right, you know what? I'll say 20 CB.
Breathe in through nose, out the mouth.
Ass on, ass off.
Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex. Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex.
Ass on, fuck it, ass off. Ass on, fuck it, ass off.
Ass on. I had Marianne Alda as Duncan's mom. Amin, you said Pauly Shore.
I would say Clay is ass on in this. He's got to be a candidate at least.
Oh yeah, he's a candidate. He's absolutely. He was running away with it until Pauly Shore showed up, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, Maze, you know how this is gonna go. It's February. We gotta go to Pauly Shore.
That's fine.
Wait, you thought Pauly Shore did a good job, but you're like, you have to go along with this?
No.
I didn't say that.
Pauly Shore is just Pauly Shore. I don't think that he's acting at all.
Yeah, I think that's just him.
There was a specific zone where if you just put Pauly Shore on your movie set, he's gonna do this.
Cool, buddies.
Carl Weathers Memorial Ass Off Award. Woo! I've got Rick Duck Cummin as Juvie Dick Reichert, Thomas McCall Ford as Mink, and I've got my winner, Dougie Doug as Popsicle.
Wedge has got to be in there as well.
Wedge was good.
Yeah, but Dougie Doug's going to take it from me.
It's Dougie Doug, man.
Doug fucking went off, man.
Crushed it.
If there was any doubt, the scene where he fucking says, "Oh, Vito, I thought you were going to play with my frog," that solidified it.
You're good at keeping secrets?
Absolutely.
Because I've got a present for you. Secret present outside by the dumpster.
Is it a baseball mitt?
It fits you like a baseball mitt, like a glove. I hope.
Golden Dumpster nominees. I've got both of them screaming. When we cut to them screaming when their hair is getting buzzed off or altered. See you later, Demita smacking people in the head. Blade teaching Duncan how to speak the language. Madame Lawanda's wax museum. My man Shakespeare was rapping about popping in some girl's coochie. And the Pauly Shore invasion.
My Golden Dumpster is Uncle Theophilus. When they're all on the phones.
Uncle Theophilus.
Put on your hearing aid.
I think for me, Golden Dumpster is probably going to be Blade Brown is the biggest asshole. Yeah, that's what it's got to be for me. That whole scene, really, where he's explaining how to speak.
I am going to go with see you later, Titty. Zach, you picked it, motherfucker.
I like that. I have enjoyed this movie for 30 years now. I think the last time I watched it was probably like 10 or 12 years ago or somewhere around 2010. I've forgotten about this movie. I watched it a lot as a kid. It was on TV all the time. I want to say it was on Comedy Central a lot. I think it's fantastic. It's not just the nostalgia. I genuinely enjoy it. I think it's a great look into early 90s vernacular, style, somewhat music. It's fun. The side actors are incredible in this. Dougie Doug, Wedge, Demita, everyone is great. I'm going to file it.
I'll go next. I had never seen House Party until recently.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember you guys were talking about it on Bomb a while back, the whole series and all that. I was like, wow, I had no idea what they're talking about. I got to check this out. I got to admit, I was a little underwhelmed by House Party.
You see how it is.
It's a very 20th century bitch movie too. It definitely felt dated. So coming into this movie, one, I thought they were going to be in college because I didn't think they're going to do high school again. Silly of me to believe that. But this movie made me laugh a bunch. I enjoyed the entire thing. Dougie Doug went nuts. The Pauly Shore there at the end was wild. I don't understand the whole flashback exposition conceit. I think you could have just started this movie without any of that and it would have been fine.
I don't think it needed to be any of that. Yeah.
Super weird. But I definitely enjoyed myself. Even the bad parts were entertaining. And it's a file.
I love this movie. And I was really worried when you picked it, Zach, because I was like, man, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I don't want to walk away not liking this movie as a result, seeing it through modern eyes. And yes, parts of it are extremely cheesy, particularly the whole anti-drug campaign they wedged in there. No pun intended. What are we doing here? And
the third act is all over the place. We've got the anti-drug dance. Then we've got the wax museum. Then we've got the knowledge competition.
When we went to the Knowledge Bowl, I was like, oh, this is still happening? If they hadn't paid it off, I would have completely forgot about it.
It would have been fine too. Who cares?
Much in the same way that we completely forgot about the whole football coach saying, hey, I want you on the team. Weird in that way. But I laughed. And some of the parts that I thought I wouldn't laugh at still were funny to me. And you know what? It's going to be a foul for me. Sweep it, boys. By the way, the teacher that Wedge yells at, this is a quick piece of trivia. Maybe it was said before. This would be the ultimate Amin wasn't paying attention. You guys know who plays that teacher?
No.
Philip Perlman, the father of Rhea Perlman.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
It's a family affair.
I got really scared there, by the way.
Oh, boy.
I got terrified. I was like, oh, shit. What if they already did this and I just fucking didn't know?
You were worried about that?
Whoa, wouldn't call him out on it this month. I'll tell you that.
You were worried that you'd be exposed for bringing up Rhea Perlman's dad was in this movie? That's what you were worried about?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you've got Carte Noir.
Next, or do you want me to go next?
You can go next. It's all right.
It's Trap Maze.
There's a couple ones I wanted to do. There's one that was a direct link from this movie that I really thought about doing. But I think I'm going to try something different here. There's a genre of movie that we really don't do very often, if at all.
Good.
Female positive.
This is a movie that has the highest audience score we've ever done, including The Departed. It's got a higher audience score than The Departed.
What?
What?
We're going to do the 5 heartbeats.
Next time we make love, you introduce me to Jade.